And just to, kind of kickstart this podcast, every decade, HR gets a new promise. First, it was policies, then processes, then platforms. Now it's algorithms. Okay, and we are told automation will make HR faster, fairer, smarter. But speed isn't wisdom, and efficiency isn't empathy. So today we are not asking what HR can automate. We are asking what it must never outsource. So where does technology genuinely help humans do better work? And where does it quietly replace responsibility, courage, and judgment? Because the future of HR isn't human versus machine. It's whether leaders like us, still show up when a system could decide for them. All right. So today, given the topic that we have, especially human versus robots and automation in the HR space, specifically, I want to introduce our wonderful panel, a wonderful set of speakers, great leaders. And I'll first start with LV. LV's full form, of course, is Lakshmi Narayanan Vishwanathan, but we would love to call him LV. All of us, and thank you for that. Thank you for allowing us to call you LV. Brings over 2 decades of HR leadership across technology, services, banking, and currently serves as Vice President HR for Quinn Financial Technologies. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Oh,
Quinn?
you're perfectly. It's a financial technology firm. Thanks for
Awesome.
that, Adik.
He's led HR roles at organizations like Altimetric, ADP, Microsoft, Cognizant, and Infosys. Automation is essential, but judgment still matters. Thank you for that. Which makes him perfectly placed for today's conversation on what HR should automate and what must always stay human. Thank you, LB, for joining us today. We have Dr. Gaurav next. I will quickly get to his intro. Just 1 second, because we had a couple of other speakers. Yes. So Dr. Gaurav has spent over 2 decades working directly with boards, founders, and CEOs as a CHR and group head of HR, scaling organizations through growth, complexity, and transformation. From Rasna to Cadler, Suzlon to SR, his work sits where strategy meets execution, which makes his perspective crucial as we discuss what HR can automate at scale. Thank you, Dr. Gaurav, for joining us today. All right. I'll go straight to Anup, Dr. Anup Gopal Krishnan again, a global HR scale-up specialist with 20 plus years of turning strategy into execution, from startups to multi-geography enterprises. He's built cultures, cracked M&A integrations. One such integration that I was part of too. He was part of that. He was leading that whole project. So he and I also kind of know each other, and scale people systems that actually move revenue, not just decks. ISB alum, PhD in human capital, and someone who believes people strategy is business strategy. If you care about growth that survives reality, you want to hear this man for sure. All right. We have Swapnil, also Dr. Anu, thank you for joining us today on a Saturday night. Swapnil is a hands-on HR leader who's lived the full arc: IT services, manufacturing, automotive, and now global operations out of Africa. You're based out of Africa, Swapnil? Sorry, you're based out of Africa right now? I can't hear you. Audio. Anyway, I'll just finish your intro. Then, Rishikesh, can you help him with the audio on the side? Yeah. Anyway, I'll just finish the intro. I think you, Swapnil. Maybe you want to just join back on the link. And maybe you can send the link to him on WhatsApp. So,
Hello, everyone.
hello, Mr. Suhas. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you? All of you?
Good. Very happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Same to you. Same to all of
Okay,
you.
I was just thank you. I was just introducing Swapnil. So obviously from TCS to Skoda to leading group HR in the DRC, Swapnil sits right at the intersection of scale, systems, and people reality. So thank you, Swapnil, for joining. I hope you can get your audio fixed. Joining us next is Naveen. Hi, Naveen. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. A rare crossover leader from national security to corporate administration, former SPG and deputy commandant with direct responsibility for prime minister level security. That's fantastic. Now leading security and admin for large real estate and corporate operations. He's worked at scale under pressure with zero margin for error, blending human judgment with AI surveillance and systems that actually work in the real world. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Naveen. It'll be great to know insights from you.
Pleasure, Adi.
All right. We have you been able to get Swapnil here? Is it has it helped? I'm basically just waiting for Swapnil to come in, and then I'll just start. Otherwise, Suhas, of course, I'll just introduce Suhas as well before we start.
Adi, are you able to hear me now?
Sorry? Yeah, Swapnil, yes, I could. Although you missed your own introduction, I'm very sorry about that. I had to, but thank you so much for joining us, Suhas. I'll just quickly introduce Suhas. Suhas also is a strategic HR leader, mainly from oil and gas, pharmaceuticals, manufacturing, consumer care, and ITS organizations. He's obviously handled large organizations, teams, 1,000 plus, worked with more than 800 expatriates, works very closely with CEOs and COOs, and been in the senior leadership to align people's strategy with business objectives. So really happy to have you here as well, Suhas. But I hope you can get your echo thing sorted. Is it better now? Okay, I don't know if you can hear us. Maybe he's all right. So let's start. All of us have limited time, so we'll just start, and when Suhas joins in, he can join in the conversation. So I'll go with the same order of introduction. LV, we'll start with you. As leaders, are we preparing HR teams to work with AI or slowly designing systems that make them irrelevant? We wanted to understand your views on this, and of course, people are free to add in once LV has finished his thought around this.
Sure. Thanks, Adi. I'm sure people will have enough to add in. So since I come from the IT part of the world, IT and ITs, right? One thing is we aren't automating HR out of the job. That's for sure, right? We are automating, I would see, as the administrative burden which the HR has. Today, they're processing payroll, they are processing much more operational activities. That is something which is kind of moving out. So they are, the world of HR is changing, right? So HR can finally do the human advocacy that they're really hired for, right? The risk isn't AI, right? It's the legacy mindset, which we kind of refuse to pivot from a data entry to a data strategy. Let me just give you an example. In our own ecosystem, at least what I can see in most of the IT firms is today AI can screen thousands and thousands of resumes in one go, right? The sorting work, but it just cannot assess a candidate whether it's a right cultural fit or a cultural curiosity, which is very much needed for an organization. So what I tell my team normally, with that, I'll just let the others add on. What I tell my team is, I'm not training my team to compete with a mission or a AI here. I'm just training them to be an interpreter, or how do they complement and use AI? That's where I kind of look at it at a overall stretch. Over to the rest of the group as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dr. Gaurav, if you can add a little more value to what LV was saying, I think he may.
Yeah.
Well.
So thank you so much for giving a chance. Here I have some different perspective being as a manufacturing lead, right? So, if we talk about AI and, automation and all, which may be a better savvy when you're talking about the IT infrastructure or IT based company, right? But when you talk about the manufacturing, which is 90% of entire industry crowd, which we are forgetting rather, right? If you see the overall gamut of economical cycle, the 90% consume only by manufacturing. 10% comes under the service sector or IT or whatever. Now, as far as IT sector is concerned, fine, AI and automation help quite a lot. The another side, the when you're talking about the manufacturing, as I completely agree with the Lakshmi Narayan as well, when you are talking about a human resource as a function, it requires more about human to human touch, right? So up to certain limit, the AI or automation will definitely help, but and that too with a strong infrastructure. What I observed is, for example, in my current company, we have Zoho software, right, as our backend HRMS. So out of 1100, hardly 5 or 6 people has completely filled up. No one has bothered to fill even the data. So AI or automation will help only when there is a completion of the data. So that needs to be, for example, on my perspective, that is what I understand. Yeah, Adi, you
Dr.
were.
Yeah, I just one thing that I wanted to ask you specifically to this question is that AI is somehow inevitable, right? It will hit us. It's already hitting us. In some companies, it's about to hit us. But how are you preparing your team to adopt it? I mean, are you preparing your team to adopt AI? Or do you still feel that the age-old systems that we run are better?
No, so there is a mix and match. So we definitely train our team to be more, AI savvy, or whosoever we hire new incumbent. We see to it that they must have a strong IT background, which support in coming time AI base as well, right? But
Right.
if you see at a macro picture, then to be savvy with AI, you know the way people are talking, the hue and cry, it's not happening. It's very systematic or easy if you digest once. That is what I observe. Rather, it helps otherwise.
Okay.
तो मतलब मेरा बोलने का तजुर्बा ये है कि जितना डर पैदा किया जा रहा है इतना डर है ही नहीं, you know. Rather,
Hmm.
it's systematically more, easy to interpret if we digest once, you know.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. That really helps. Swapnil, what
Yeah.
is your opinion on this? I mean, how are you preparing your teams, or are you preparing them at all?
No, obviously, concurring with what Dr. Gaurav said, that yes, we are when we hire new joiners in HR or otherwise also, we check whether they are compatible, they have used generative AI or any other AI as for that matter, and how good are they at adopting these systems. But
Mm.
again, I noted down a couple of words from LV's talk, and he really said that the HR teams are not supposed to compete with AI. Rather, they are supposed to collaborate with AI. Either we collaborate or we confluence with AI, and that is where the true AI can be used as an assistant rather than a threat. And what Gaurav said, that was absolutely bang on, कि जितना उसका डर पैदा किया जा रहा है उतना डरने जैसा कुछ है नहीं. Rather, we use it as an assistant and it will make our life easier.
And Swapnil, I mean, your voice wasn't coming to us that time, but you're based out of Africa?
Yeah, I am based out of the country called Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yeah, you're at Congo. Yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
how is the whole feel of AI and automation in HR or anything else otherwise in Africa right now?
In Africa, it depends. There are IT companies who have adopted to all these new practices very quickly. We have HRIS systems. We have Odoo opening their own operational branches and reaching out to companies and implementing HRIS. And then there are traditional companies. For example, the place where I work in, it's called the mining belt. It has got the cobalt and copper mines, the entire Haut Katanga region, and attached the borderline other countries like Zambia, which falls immediately south of
Yeah.
Lubumbashi. That's called the copper belt.
Mm.
So in those companies, in mining companies and all, traditionally they're still following the traditional HR practices. Even the attendance is marked, say, manually.
Mhm.
And in many places, your biometric attendance is not yet implemented. So there is a stark difference in terms of banking or ITES operations as compared to traditional organizations.
So
Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of visibility on manufacturing because in DRC, manufacturing is not that prevalent. It's very less. Most of the stuff comes
Mhm.
from abroad.
So I mean, you are also facing the fire a little bit. I mean, it's not probably India has gone a little more aggressive, but you're also facing the fire for sure in Africa.
Yes, we are.
Right. Dr. Anup, given your expertise in M&A and all of that, what is your feel about this whole AI piece in HR, and how are companies that you're merging or acquiring and helping handle that deal? How are you seeing that industry move forward, and what's the sentiment around it?
See, Adi, we got to be a little more contextual about this. Yeah. So the question is that are we designing AI and automation and stuff like that with a high degree of expertise, wherein over a period of time we will look at redundancies in the HR spectrum? No, that's as a design element, as a design challenge, I'd sort of temper my answer. And I'll temper it by saying that it really depends on the story that our AI roadmap tells about HR. Yeah, so the real question is this. While we are looking at implementing AI for HR, are we looking at it purely as a cost lever, or are we using AI to buy back the human bandwidth so that our function, which is HR, can finally focus on the work only humans can do? With that, I
Agree.
mean
Yeah.
work. By that, I mean work which is judgment focus, which is trust building focus, which is culture focus, right? I mean, that's the agenda. So going forward, if the roadmap is about only costs, then our function inevitably gets treated as a set of workflows to be automated away, right? In that world, automation, AI, predictive indices, and everything will turn HR into a very thin layer of systems administration. And when it comes to that, we should not be surprised if the function is seen less and less strategic over a period of time, more and more operational over a period of time, and then we have a real challenge.
That's true.
But on the flip side, if the larger strategy and roadmap is explicit about utilizing AI to take off routine work off HR's plate, as Gaurav, Swapnil, and Lakshmi were very clear in stating, the policy queries, the transactional approvals, basic analytics, then we are making a totally different bet.
I agree.
In that case, what we are actually doing is we are freeing capacity, and this capacity will allow the HR team to lean deeper towards, say, coaching leaders, influencing and shaping cultures, managing complex employee situations, designing and investing in the workplace of the future. These are things that require human intervention. So the litmus test in my book is very simple. After we deploy AI, does the HR team as a whole have more time and influence in rooms where real people decisions are made, or less? And if it's less, then the technology is not the problem. Our intent and design is. Look, I mean, all of us would do well to remember that AI transformation, by definition, is not just about the technology. We make that mistake a lot. AI transformation, it's about transformation in the work, transformation in jobs, and transformation in people management. It's not just the technology.
Absolutely.
So overall,
No, fantastic. Thank you so much. That really helps. We have two more speakers who've joined. We have Namrita and Mr. Murli Krishnan Ponaya. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry. I normally would like to introduce you more formally, but since you couldn't join in at that point in time, we'll just get you involved into the conversation and then take things forward if that's okay with you.
Perfectly fine. No
Thank you. Thank you.
delay.
No, don't worry. And Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us on a Saturday evening.
Happy New Year to you and everyone on the panel.
Thank you so much. Moving on to Naveen, and then I'll go to Namrita and Murli. Naveen, in the whole space of security, of course, this is more HR automation and this and that, but obviously it's a huge role for HR also. Security is a huge role for HR. I mean, of course, IT security is something else, but with regards to just general security, it all comes under the purview of HR somewhere. What is your opinion, this whole AI space in HR? For example, where has automation or AI quietly made things worse for us? One, of course, in HR, one maybe in the space that you directly look at, Mr. Naveen. Where has it made things worse for us?
Thank you so much. I was expecting that perhaps this question could be asked because
Yeah,
this is
you're the
the
right person to ask this question.
most important questions which is being asked in the very big events and the seminars where I'm attending all these things. AI is helping only for surveillance automation. But if we are going to judge the people behavior who are performing security duties and who are directly connected with the vendors, vendors as it is in the manufacturing sector. So, it is very much difficult to judge behavior of the people through AI. It is very much difficult to judge the performance of the employees with the AI. It is very much difficult to assess the entire performance of an employee with AI. There are so many things in which AI can't help, from Microsoft Office to Excel, and making large dashboards. There definitely AI is helping to the HR, but in a security where we have to trust the people and we have to judge the people and we have to see each and everything, very from depth, from the roots, there AI is not helping. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Naveen. Thank you so much. And Ms. Namrita, Mr. Murli, I'll just go to Suhas first because he was struggling to get back in. Suhas, can I hear your voice if you're audible? Can you hear me? Okay, I still feel Suhas is struggling. Ms. Namrita, I'll come straight to you. In Indian workplaces specifically, where does automation clash hardest with culture, hierarchy, or let's say power distance? What is your opinion on this whole automation piece and, vis-a-vis culture?
See, there are certain things that I'm sure my other colleagues have also spoken about this. I missed it initially, but there are certain things that HR should automate, which are frivolous in nature and which does not require our intervention. But there are certain things which 100% require our intervention. For example, performance-based exits, succession planning, and promotions, compensation reduction, disciplinary action. These are all things that HR has to be completely involved in and AI will not be helpful. What is helpful is only probably the reports, which will give us some intelligence on how to handle a situation or a particular problem that is in hand. That's it. Otherwise,
Namrata, sorry, please go ahead.
no, please.
No, I wanted to add, AI claims today that they can evaluate performance better than managers. Okay, so what does that say about our manager?
I'll tell you what.
What should
See,
HR do about it?
See, when you talk about performance, now typically what happens is that there is an algorithm in AI, right? And it runs based on that. Now, is if your historical data is of bias, so in India we do have a lot of biases, right? And based on that, there is either a halo effect and a horn effect, and because of that, the performance also depends. A lot of people do it, a lot of people don't do it, but yes, the majority of our people actually have that recency effect. Based on that, if the algorithm reads that, okay, in the past this is how the system has, or the manager has given him a particular rating, it will continue to show that the same thing again and again. So that is something which performance, that particular piece, it cannot be replaced by AI. Yes,
Okay, thank you. We
can
have
be replaced is
Yeah, yeah.
your objectives, that have your goal sheet, what has been given to you and what you have done, which I think now mostly all the HRISs have. That is
Yeah.
something, that is the only thing where I think in performance it can help us track it. Otherwise, in totality, I kind of don't see it much helping in performance. Maybe it can enhance the performance in some way, but that depends. In HR, it will only help in performance when it comes to data extraction and probably interpreting a data will only be done by the HR guys.
I think you've invoked a lot of thoughts in a lot of people, but I'll go in order of hands raised. I think Naveen first, then Dr. Anoop, and then LV. Naveen, please go ahead.
So I just wanted to give you an example for this one. I'm agree with Namrita's, point of view. So what I did from security point of view, I created 3 accounts in ChatGPT, and I personally fed about the performance of 3 people since I'm in the corporate world right now. So in 3 accounts of a single person, I made 3 different performance behaviors. So whatever was the behavior was fed up at the end of the 6 months. It was in the November. I got 3 different results for a single person. So whatever we are feeding in the algorithm, we will get that one. So AI is totally based on algorithm. So we can't judge the performance of the people on AI. That's very much true. Please try to understand.
Thank you, Dr. Anoop.
Adi, Namrata made some very valid points, and it sort of raised my
Yeah.
hackles a little bit when we use a statement that AI can evaluate performance rather better than managers. So I come from the school of thought that if AI is genuinely evaluating your performance better than managers, it says less about how smart the machine is and more about how little time, training, and courage many managers have put into their craft of managing.
Interesting.
That this is a leadership and HR problem long before it's a technological success story.
Very true.
No, I mean, it's a design challenge.
Very
If this
well
is
said.
happening in real time, it's a design challenge. If this is happening, then I would go ahead and reframe the manager's role. So AI has its advantages. So and I will position AI as the analyst and the manager as the sense maker. The
Sure.
manager has to be the person who adds context,
Sure.
weighs the trade-off, and has that human conversation which AI just cannot have. So my job expectations, my training and performance goals for every manager would explicitly include high quality feedback and coaching. I mean,
Excellent. Thank you.
we got
Thank
to contextualize it because if AI is ahead of managers today, it's not the HR's job to hand performance management over to algorithms, because an algorithm would never do what a human would do. Our role is to raise the bar so that the manager can stand next to the data with credibility, empathy, and courage.
Sure.
So I'm thankful to Namrata for bringing that up very clearly. It's not so from the line of thought I come from, it's not any algorithm or AI's job to give performance feedback, because because performance feedback is not just qualitative, because not just quantitative.
Mm.
Yeah.
and the data that is fed in, AI by its very definition will magnify the biases. I mean, do I make sense? It will just
Yeah,
magnify the
absolutely.
biases based on only quantified data.
Totally makes sense. And LV, I wanted to, since you have raised your hand, I wanted you to also add to this. AI claims that the more it works with the company or works with a set of people, and generally more and more is fed in, they know how to learn within the biases, move away from the biases. They know how to give qualitative feedback, all of that put together. Firstly, I wanted to understand what you had in mind and what
See,
you
let me
use.
just tell you, Adi, I think everyone here added on, right? But one thing to be thought through, right? The real question is, will employees in our very own ecosystem or organization want to have a feedback from AI or from real people, which are managers or supervisors or whoever we really call, right? See, people today, they value the context, they value the tone, and they value the trust which they have with other people, right? Algorithm, like many of my peers said, they can pretty much speak about what you did wrong, but a manager can tell you why it really matters and how to really grow, right? The career conversations, the human connect, the cultural element is something which I don't think AI can pretty much do it. It's simple, right? You can't replace, say, a mentor's or a leader's guidance with a chatbot notification or an AI notification telling you. That's the entire crux which I wanted to tell, right? I'm just picking up from Namrata, Naveen, and also from Anup. That's how it is.
Mr. Murli, I think a lot of insights, and this is always going to be a controversial topic. Just to add to what LV said, LV was saying that I don't think employees will want to listen to AI's feedback. Now, what happens if AI gives better feedback eventually? What happens then? Will companies start moving towards, and what if the Gen Z and the latest generation and the generations to come start to only listen to AI? And because they do, even today at home, when they are trying to understand something for themselves, they go to ChatGPT and they ask a question and they get their answer. They don't talk to anybody. Is the future also okay to listen to feedback from AI? So
Good
please go
evening
ahead.
to fellow panelists. Thanks for inviting me for this forum. I'm really excited to be part of this and learning everyone's input in a new dimension of it. For me, it's a new first-hand experience, and I'm happy with that. Coming to the question, see, life is all about what is it? The relationship building, collaboration, and social engagement. These things can never be avoided. See, in a social context or in the enterprise context or in any situation, we need to have certain level of contact, then only the growth happens. This is called the term that I want to use is the psychological contract. Once when the psychological contract is established between a employer, between a technology or in any mode, the developments and growths
Absolutely.
are going to flourish. Once when we give that comfort, see, in statistical language, what you feed in, the result is going to be based on that, not based on it's going to generate on its own. In today's context, AI, in today's newspaper, Economic Times, it is published stressing that we need to have collaboration. We need to human collaboration is must. We need to be adaptable. We need to be flexible. See, we keep on talking about the human aspect only, even in the AI era, even in the Gen Z era, whatever the situation is going to be. But the psychological contract, once when it is established, the technology is definitely we are going to consume a lot. There's no doubt on it. AI is going to feed a lot of inputs, but at the end of the day, we have to apply our own judgment, consciousness, the environment that we live in and work on. These things matters. Technology cannot provide that. Technology will provide certain A plus B plus C plus C algorithm. Smartly, it will be established. It will produce some result. Whether is it aligning to the organization's growth? See, we should not look at all the things only in terms of productivity, productivity, productivity. Yes, efficiency matters in today's environment. But along with that, human potential need to be harnessed using the technology, not on the other side. Once when you establish a contractual safety, we can see the human growth along with the technology growth. This is what I feel as an initial thought. We will get on much dive deeper and we'll explore the thoughts on it. Yeah, this is an initial.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
That was really nice. I'll start the circle again. LV, coming to you, technology is something. We've been using technology in HR, obviously in the form of HRIS and payroll software and, various software that we always use. But this is AI. This is replacing intelligence. This is replacing human intelligence. Given what you said, that employees will they listen to AI for feedback? Isn't it an inevitable future that people will start listening to only robots?
Hard truth, right? You never know, like you rightly said, Gen Zs, maybe they trust the data and everything. But one thing to be remembered, right? The fact of the matter is the feedback is much more important than facts, right? It's
Yeah.
the way you pretty much convey the feedback. And, if you ask today a ChatGPT or a DeepSeek or anything, you take it, right? Perplexity, you key in all your inputs, it gives you a feedback. It's just throws it on your face, right? The way you kind of convey it, human beings as such, we are born with good amount of emotions, and people need certain level of empathy. They need mentorship, they need coaching, but it's not about metrics, right? So could be the future isn't just choosing in terms of is it going to be AI or humans. It could be a combination of both, right? It's like a collaboration. So AI is going to give the data, human is going to consume the data. The way they actually give the feedback is up to the managers and the supervisors of the particular organizations, right? That's how I pretty much look at it. Will it certainly replace? The fact of the matter is it need not. I would rather say, I would rather echo the previous statement. AI can give the data, manager will be able to give the direction, and the feedback would be like a combination of both, right? That's how it's going to work out, at least in the future. That's what I pretty much see it, Adi.
Thank you, LV. All of it is speculation, right? But, nothing is right or wrong as of now. But moving to Dr. Gaurav, if you're there, Dr. Gaurav, and the question is, so Dr. Gaurav, this question is for you and Swapnil. So once you're done, then Swapnil can add to it.
Yeah.
Given that we're talking about eventually employees may have to listen to robots for feedback, are we also saying that today AI can start recruiting and replace recruiters?
Probably I would say no, because there are two reasons. See, basically, whatever AI or robots or automation which we are creating, that's the algorithm generated after reading thousands and thousands of different variation of action given by different humankind, right? So, which is being at the end feeded into the machine, and that's how they speak robotic language. So unless we capture the data or set the algorithm in a way where the mindset of different individuals get feed into, right, and which will result and gives us different forecast of data in different ways. So I don't think compare with other, right? So how many robots you will create,
But Swapnil, coming to you, given what Dr. Gaurav is saying, AI companies will also come to you with all that fed in already. I mean, they would have done enough feeding in of information and, working the algorithms for a country like India, different types of companies, different types of, I mean, Dr. Anup has been doing so many M&As. He'll know that there are so many types of companies using AI already. For all, the algorithm is already being, already learning, right?
yeah.
If it comes to you, if it comes to you, Swapnil, in Congo, and says that, hey, we have an AI software or we have a solution that covers recruitment all across Africa, and we've done, we've taken in data and info from all over the country and the continent, and we can solve this recruitment problem for you. So, do you think it will replace recruiters for you?
No, thanks for taking this topic up, Adi. And I would support Dr. Gaurav here and say a big no. AI cannot replace recruiters or recruitment process as such. AI can just assist. I'll give you a different point of view to this. If AI is able to shortlist resumes, the candidates are also using AI to ensure that their resumes come top on the list, or the keywords are matching what the job description is saying in the job post or on LinkedIn. So are we getting the right resumes for the AI to filter through? We're not sure. Probably I'm getting 110 resumes. 10 people have not used AI, but out of those 10 people, 5 or 6 might actually be the key people who I want as per my job description or as per the requirement that I currently have. But there are
Absolutely
100
agree.
resumes which are
Absolutely
being pushed by AI on top of the list because they have used AI to fool the system. So just the way people are.
Yeah, even especially in our sector, what I have observed is, sourcing via AI doesn't give the proper result the way you want a right fitment. It's the 90% cases you are not getting a right fitment through AI. You have to filter one on one by scaling the skill put that you require.
So
I have, yeah, go ahead.
complete dependency, sorry, so just concluding that complete dependency on AI is wrong, and also completely disregarding AI is also wrong, because AI will help you, AI will make your recruiter's life much more easier, and they can then filter through the resumes and find the right fit. So the entire recruitment cycle cannot be replaced by AI, but yes, some tasks
Absolutely.
can be assigned to AI.
So, yeah,
Dr.
so,
I
so
have to,
wherever
I
there is
just,
a human touch required, it has to be required. That's it. What I presume largely.
thank
So, see, I think we are looking at AI and automation as an end in itself,
as
wherein
a,
that is
yeah, yeah,
not the case. It is
sure,
not your proverbial God particle, right?
right.
The day that your AI and machines replace your human resource management team, that's when the machines take over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the- so philosophically speaking, Sir mentioned the psychological contract all of us get into. So the final call on who gets hired, who gets promoted, who
Mhm.
gets terminated should never be an AI or an automation call
Correct.
without a human being owning the judgment and the explanation.
Hmm.
All of us have been talking about data. Your AI pulls out data, garbage in, garbage out, multitudes of data, scenario planning to a high degree. All of that we talked about. But all of this is historical data. Now, historical data often encodes past prejudice. Having said that, highly accurate models that a lot of these AIs create, not just in Adi, even in our day
Yeah,
to day business HR sort of an environment,
absolutely.
highly accurate models can be precisely wrong in ethical terms, replicating prejudice and discrimination at scale while outwardly looking very objective because data hai and
Mhm.
data is objective. So the smart thing, the humane thing to do is use your tech as a tool. Your tech can shortlist, your tech can flag patterns, your tech can help provide evidence. But your tech should not be allowed to own the decision or deliver the decision unchallenged.
Excellent.
And going ahead, I would say that higher the stakes for a person's dignity and future, the
Uh,
more dangerous it is to hand the steering wheel fully to an algorithm. No matter what the accuracy thingy says, yeah, I mean it can be 100% accurate, but I would still not hand it over unchallenged to an algorithm. Never.
Very well said. I think this it's such a beautiful conversation. But I wanted to extend this question to both Naveen first and then Namrita. Given what Dr. Anoop has been saying, and the rest of the panel has been saying, the interesting thing is I've been working with a lot of AI companies lately as a consultant, especially in HR AI development. Everybody is working on systems or replacements of systems and replacements of a replacement of what a human can do. Nobody is working on touch points like Dr. Anup was saying. Nobody should actually take decisions on termination. Nobody should, give feedback to employees for performance and this and that, right? I mean, machines should not do that. But everybody in the market is building AI products that are replacing humans. So now, given that on this panel, everybody is rejecting an overall adoption of AI. Mr. Naveen and Namrita, first we'll start with Naveen and then Namrita. What systems today that you have, right? One Naveen in your securities function and then Namrita in your HR function. What systems today are you willing to replace in its entirety to AI? Or, are there touch points that you will replace with AI? Or will you not take AI at all and go with what you have right now? What would you, I mean, if you have to think of these two, three things, what would they be immediately, for example? What can you actually change and replace with AI?
Thank you so
We'll
much,
start with
Adi.
you, Mr. Naveen, and then we'll go to Namrata.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adi. I just wanted to complete the conversation which was going already,
Yeah,
that
please.
how technology is disrupting our system. So I'm taking you back to 2019 when firstly artificial intelligence came into the CCTV cameras, and every company was coming to Prime Minister's office, Prime Minister's house, and to the BBIP security said that our cameras have an facility of line crossing, detection, loitering, people counting, they give 37 companies from China to USA to Taiwan to Sweden give different demos. When we implemented the first AI based system in CCTV cameras for line crossing or the loitering, and they said there is no need to sit in the control room. The alarm will automatically will come when any person will come inside the camera will try to cross the line or try to climb up the wall. So what happened? We tested it. So when any animal, when any word was crossing that line, automatically alarms were coming, and the situations were getting very much hectical, that something is going to be happen very serious.
Hmm, hmm.
So the same thing, whatever the algorithm has learned, the result we will get accordingly to that. So at that time, yes, AI helped us only for a little stance, but without human intervention, these things are not successful at any cost. So we have to make this thing very much clear that if we are adopting AI, then it is only a plus situation for us, not a we are going to be get free from this thing.
Mhm.
So the rest of the things I am transferring to Namrata. Yeah, please, Namrata, you can carry on.
And also the HR view, obviously.
So in HR, what how we can replace is what are the things that can be replaced? Certain. So let's start with recruiting. So in the recruitment function, what is it? Whatever what can be replaced? At least uh, in my company, I can talk about that because it's a BPO, it's a domestic BPO. That in keeping that in mind, where we have bulk hiring and we hire like 400, 500 people a month, we can't go with scheduling interviews and all that things that the AI can do, can search and then do it. No, we have walk-ins and we have to deal with that. So, keeping that in mind, only the reporting is something that AI is going to be very helpful in giving letter of intent to people, letters to people. Then, there.
Isn't that already happening with normal
Yes,
technology?
it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
To a large
This,
extent, it is already.
this.
Most of it, what I'm saying, is already in today's date is already automated by the thanks to the HRISs that we have.
But I think
Everything.
one small thing I would like to add over here, AI is not the technology that we've been using. AI is at least X times different and way more enabled. It's literally closest to how we think. Even if you're feeding an algorithm, it picks on algorithm and it adds way more value given that it has global algorithms already in place, right?
Correct.
With reports and letters and obviously we've automated payroll, we've automated
Yeah.
attendance, we've
So
automated a lot of
that's
things.
exactly what I'm saying. That in certain things, it's not going to be very helpful because the HRISs are already doing that. What it can be very helpful is predictive absenteeism based on the attendance and whatever we have fed in and biometrics and all. Predictive absenteeism, fair scheduling is something that it can look into.
And even predictive, predicting people who are about to leave and things like that.
Yes. Yeah. So based on the data, it can come up with all these things. It can also help us in driving higher learning adaptation. That is something that it can look into basically when it comes to learning content delivery and all of that.
Yeah.
When we talk about performance, I think in performance what it can do is it can only provide early performance risk alerts. If there is a issue with a person, that is something that it can come up with.
Got it. Yeah.
uh,
So again, it's a little more value over what is already automated, is what you're
Yes,
trying to say.
just something that is going to be an extension, but you can't replace the decisions and everything. Nothing can. I don't think AI will be able to do that kind of work
Okay.
that
Okay.
HR do.
Thank you so much. I'll go to Mr. Murli now, and then Mr. Murli, this is pretty much the last question. After that, we'll just take everybody's summary after this, given the interest in of time. Mr. Murli, now you've been listening to the panel. It seems like a holistic no to replacing our teams with AI. But we are okay to look at qualitative inferences and solutions through AI over whatever we've already automated over that, right? To help us in our decision making. My question is this: are we all in our own mind trying to avoid a situation where we will have to fire our teams? Are we avoiding the situation where we have to fire our teams and probably AI replaces us? Because if AI can give us predictions on who is leaving, who's going to be absent, predictions on maybe certain decisions that we can, rely through predictions, then I mean, AI can automate everything, right? AI can then automate even, like we said, giving feedback as managers for performance, and it can even replace even the CEO, because it can eventually agentic AI can actually replace employees today. Is there an undertone that we are scared that our people will lose their jobs because we may be worrying that somewhere in the background AI can probably solve it all? It can't maybe be as effective, maybe, but then founders and CEOs maybe like, hey, let's get rid of people. Why are we spending so much on salary costs, and just kind of make everything agentic AI and solve it for us? What's your feel about this, and why not?
Yeah, I would like to excellent question. See, I would like to share two extreme contrasting examples based on my experience. In 1999, we are about to recruit graduate engineer trainees, where we have invited 500 students. They're all completely graduated. We are given the question paper, conducted test, evaluated, and the final scores have come. The top 25%, based on our cutoff, only 25% were qualified. On the other side, what we had decided, we were expecting some close to 200 numbers. Our intention is to select, but out of this, only 25 only have come qualified. What we have decided, let us do one crazy test, litmus test. Let's call this top 25. Let's call the last 25% who are scored. They are all graduates, fully graduated. When we have invited and had the discussions and the interviews, there are a lot of several other indicators which we have found, the qualitative parameters in the last 25 candidates who scored. They're extraordinary, except just based on the questions. And let me tell you frankly, today, those last 25 people whom we have finally selected those 5 people are general managers today, based on a lot of other indicators, not just based on the score. This is one indicator. So, okay, we need to filter somewhere. We need to have the qualifying parameters based on that only. We need to shortlist the people. Yes, process is right, but there are a lot of other indicators which we are missing that we can correlate with today's high. That's number one. Number two, in 2021, we were about implementing a lot of automated policies and program implementations, which we want to automate it, and people can access to that. What has happened is, for a period of 6 months, which I personally monitored, there is no interaction between the human resource department, management development department, between the employees. People has a doubt on companies' policies and programs. Yes, they go access tidbits and get the knowledge and go on with it. But the real feeling of the industry, real feeling of the hot skill, competency, whatever the things that are required for the business, which have lost the touch. So here what I'm trying to say is everything automated. In 2021, I'm talking about the second scenario. Everything automated, no interaction with the people manager or the HR department, because things are what they need, including for the development. The system delivers. Even the performance management is another criteria where everything randomically assigned to numbers. We cannot see a people's performance based on numbers, 1, 2, 3. Yes, we need that, but there are a lot of other business parameters plays a role. Statistical information plays a role. So in this angle, in the 2021 case, since the human resource management and development people's interaction is reduced, the attrition has increased. So what are we trying to learn here? Yes, partially we are going to use AI and its advancements. Partially we should use our own judgment. What is the current ground scenario? If we are unable to link the technology advancements and the current business reality, I don't think whatever the thing that automation companies spending, yes, we need to progress towards growth using the technology. That's if we are not going to use, some other company is going to use, and they are going to be the number one. So we are competing to stay or to retain the same spot. So in this, technology is going to be useful, automation is going to be useful, but if you completely rely on this, it's no point. Even CEO, like as you said earlier, even the CEO's decision-making options were given by the generative chat GPTs, generative answers. Can CEO depend on that, say, go as per A, as per A, as per C? No, it is highly impossible. So we have to take on the people, give them the psychological contract, and embed them with the technology and their competence, and ensure that technology doesn't stop using the intelligence, the human intelligence.
Fair
This is
point.
what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
There are a lot of case studies
Awesome.
out there, but we need to use judiciously.
Thank you.
Adi,
Thank you.
one
So
quick
we'll,
thing,
we'll
okay?
know the whole circle now and sum up. So, I'll go to LV now, and the same sequence, we'll just take a
Sure.
summary note from all of
I
you.
apologize for taking a little longer
Sure.
time. I'm sorry.
No, please. It's a free-flowing discussion. I'm just trying to maintain order.
One thing is there, right? And what Murli said is absolutely right. In fact, I was reading an article, and one thing which came out is AI can predict attrition, AI can predict who can leave.
Yes.
But it was written that only a great leader can tell you why and how to make people stay. That is the summary for whatever was Murli was talking about, right? But let me just give you a quick summary, right? It's not about AI replacing. It's about AI and machines which are going to give us the clarity, and us as a humans, that is going to give us the meaning, right? So we will end up automating things, automating in terms of, I think Namrata, Dr. Anup, and everyone in this group have spoken about, right? Resume screening, scheduling, payroll, right? That will actually free enough bandwidth for people or leaders to focus on career touch points, career coaching, or leadership coaching and culture building, right? So to me, the organizations that will win need to use AI for speed and humans for sense making, right? Culture building and sense making. Technology is going to process the data, but only people can really create the trust. And that is a trust which will, very create insight into a bigger impact. With that, I would just leave it out. One thing is very clear. If you really get this right, HR just won't survive the, complete AI wave. HR is a person who's going to lead the AI wave. That's how I pretty much look at it, Adi. Over to my peers.
That's a very good summary. Dr. Gaurav, if you can just summarize your thoughts.
Yeah. So my submission here as a summary is AI or automation cannot be a replacer. It can be improver. Simple as that. Here, I would like to give you a very known example to everyone. Forget about the industry, forget about HR. If we pick up the call and connect to, make my trip for any of the query, 99% of people would like to talk to the concerned person, not automatic system.
Yep.
The moment they say, as the lines are busy, start talking to our AI platform. People get disconnect. They give connection again, and they used to get connect. So wherein they can connect to the concerned person on board. This is a simple example.
Thank you, Dr. Gaurav. Swapnil, your summary?
Yeah, I would again go back to one very impressive line spoken by Dr. Anup. He said that AI is not proverbial God particle. I think that sums the entire discussion. And what Dr. Gaurav just said, that it's not for replacing, it's just for assisting us. It will be a collaborator. And as and more we start using AI, we would probably require more HR team members to be expert in AI and guide it towards and align it to the corporate goals so that it functions properly. And coming to one more question, Adi, which you had asked, that AI can predict who is going the attrition and who is going to resign from the organization. I personally feel that in 2025 we are not at that stage where it can actually predict it 100%. It will require a lot many years and lot more advancement, because AI today is more about what we are feeding in. We can conduct an employee survey every month. An employee can lie in each and every survey saying that I'm satisfied, I'm satisfied, I'm satisfied. 11 times, 11 months we see he's a green flag, and 12th month he resigns because what goes in comes out in AI. So yes, AI is advancing, and as it advances, we need to utilize its benefit. We cannot 100% rely on AI as of today.
So Dr. Anup, if AI is not God, we aren't God. Does it mean that we plus AI, that's God? But need your summary.
No, that's treading on how do I say murky waters. I mean, not something that I would do it.
We're into the bus code. We ourselves are a god. Aham Brahmasmi. So no one is powered more than a human.
No, so Aham Brahmasmi technically means that we create the world that we can influence. So taking that line forward, let me put it this way. Maybe 10 or 15 years down the line when I'm close to retirement, I, for one, wouldn't want to be accused of taking the human out of human resources.
Very good.
Yeah?
Yep.
No, that's a real risk.
Yeah.
And that's a risk, especially when we talk about AI quietly. We talked about especially when AI is quietly taking calls that most need judgment, empathy, and context.
Mm, correct.
judgment, empathy, and context. So the risk is that we are dehumanizing people. We run the risk of treating humans as data points in an HR algorithm, an HR model. And when we do that, the real danger is that the trust and identification with the organization will drop. It's bound to drop. Sir used the word the psychological contract that all of us sign even when we get associated with an organization. I have a
Exactly.
PhD.
Exactly.
I have a PhD, and my research topic was human resource accounting.
Oh,
I mean, that's as dehumanizing as it gets.
Yeah.
Treating humans as assets and liabilities, a figure in the balance sheet. Now that is dangerous. And now, even as we keep talking, we are taking that risk now day in and day out. We run the risk where cost, speed, and standardization is dominating empathy, dialogue, and context. And these are the nuances that make us human. These nuances are getting squeezed out of decision making. And that's when we start talking about people feeling managed as assets and liabilities rather than as human beings.
Very true.
So if our function, that is HR, allows AI or chatbots or all these tools to become the face, voice, and conscience of people decisions, then taking human out of human resources, this will be a very fair and accurate accusation and not just a metaphor. So I would say that let the machines and the AIs and your chatbots and the ERPs and the HRIS take over the transactions and the administration. But let the humans finally do work that only humans can do.
Thank you. That
Yeah.
really was a good summary. Thank you so much. Mr. Naveen, what do you have in mind?
Thank you so much, Adi. And I'm really grateful that I'm in a really very wonderful conversation.
Same
So
here.
Yeah, really
let me
wonderful.
tell
Yeah,
you very, very honestly, I was in government services for the last 22 years, and from last 2 years, I'm the corporate world.
Yeah.
In government services, there is no dedicated HR being. From recruiting a constable to a classroom guested officer, whether it is in sub inspector or an assistant commandant or an IS or an IPS officers, there are different wings which are recruiting this one. But in the corporate world, the HR department is totally responsible for making an organization excellent, which I'm seeing from the last 2 years.
True.
Now, two things I can tell you very clearly: AI cannot judge the integrity of a individual performance. AI cannot judge the dedication of an employee. AI cannot judge the honesty of an employee. AI cannot judge the change which can employee can bring. I have certain examples. I joined an organization, the last organization, and for the 4 months, I consecutively observed 2 or 3 persons in my team which were not performing, training them, imparting them, telling them the future aspect of the organization and mentoring them very well, their performance doesn't change drastically. So AI is a tool. If we are going to be get dependent upon that, we will make ourselves paralyzed. Definitely, HR being will make paralyzed. Make
Very,
my words. Make my
very,
words.
yeah.
AI can assist you only to make your work easier, but without HR's intervention, without analyzing HR, because I can say HR is the outstanding, the number one, the backbone of the organization. So HR has never been dependent to the AI. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Naveen. Thank you so much. Namrita, over to you. I think you started the controversy. You can probably sum it up too.
And the sad part of being the last person or probably second last person to talk is that everybody has said what you wanted to say. The last only thing you can say, I agree with everybody, but I completely resonate with Mr. Dr. Gaurav and Dr. Anu, where they say whatever they've said, I couldn't agree more. That yes, and I often give this example when I'm in, giving inductions or meeting some people in BPO, saying that when they say why are we here and why is it important, I typically tell them that when you make a call to a call center, till the time you don't listen to a voice on the other side, you're not happy, you're not satisfied. So I agree with Dr. Gaurav and I agree with Dr. Anup also, where he says you can't replace the human from human resources. That cannot be done. AI, the only reason why it's human resources and not AI resources, because that human touch is only that the HR team people can do. So you
So
can't
safe,
replace that.
it's safe to say that AI is helping us with the resources, but not the human bit.
Yeah. AI can only be an enabler, but cannot replace the human touch.
Thank you. Thank you, Namrata. Mr. Murli, the summary is ending with you. The overall conversation ends with you. So you have the last say. Please go ahead, sir.
Now it's done.
AI is operational, administrative for transactions. For all other things, human intelligence matters. Even in any era, Gen Z or whatever the terminologies that may exist, human intelligence is going to lead the role. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much. This was a phenomenal conversation. We have such beautiful minds here, and obviously seasoned, and it proves it. Whatever you say is gold. And I, of course, resonate with everything that I say. Of course, I have to ask the questions. I wanted to ask you controversial questions. And I think that also helps make it a lot more interesting. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you on the panel, and a very, very happy New Year to all of you. And please enjoy the Saturday with your family.
Hey,
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
thanks,
so much,
Adi.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
Thank you
you so
so
much,
much.
Adi.
Wish you
Jai
Happy New Year.
Hind.
Good
Thank
night.
Thanks,
you.
Adi, for anchoring the podcast, by
Good
the way.
night.
Okay. You kept it going.
Jai
Thank you.
Hind.